Hello, cousins. Welcome to another episode of Respectfully. You know, the news has been so heavy lately that I just want to sit back, kick back, and just have a little fun with y'all today. And this has been requested of me for a very, very long time, oddly enough. But people have always just wanted to see a compilation of me just reacting to all the cringe, insane, woke TikToks out there. And even though TikTok, as of now, is my biggest platform, I rarely ever am on TikTok. Believe it or not, I never really scroll on TikTok. I'm not really someone who likes to rot my brain cells like that. So I actually asked Mr. Rodriguez, shout out to Mr. Rodriguez, to go through TikTok and find a whole compilation of videos for me to react to with y'all. So let's get right into it. First of all, y'all know the vibes. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to Respectfully. Okay, first of all, Mr. Rodriguez, what am I about to get myself into?
So we have a lot of fun lined up for you. Now, we were scouring on the interwebs looking for all different types of videos. There are so many to choose from. It's crazy, number one. But the first thing we're going to get into, this video came out a little bit ago, I'd say.
About a week ago.
Could have been. I think it was longer. But anyway, this person claims that this hospital's transphobic.
Oh.
So let's go right into it, shall we?
Get into it, yeah?
So, today I went to go to an appointment, a checkup, whatever. So me thinking like, hey, like, I already had conversations with them. Let's hope that they have they listen and learn their lesson, and they respect my pronouns. I go in today and literally I was getting served from the minute I walked in, and I was like, girl. I was like, what do you mean, baby? I was like, it's ma'am. Like, it's ma'am. Please refer me as ma'am. That are my pronouns. This mother had the audacity to be like, yes, sir.
Audacity.
I'm like, are you
Face.
done? I was like, I literally just told you that I go by she, her pronouns. Do not call me sir. And then from there, he's like, okay, my bad. And then by the time we're like finished up, he's like, okay, brother. Are you serious? Advantage Help is literally the most transphobic place ever. Literally, I literally sent out a complaint, and then all they told me was like, oh, well, your name is not legally changed, or you haven't like legally changed your sex yet, so we're just referring you by what we have. And I was like, it doesn't matter if I didn't legally change my sex or legally change my name. This is who I am. These are my pronouns. This is how I identify. So if I tell you call me she, her, mother call me she, her.
And if I tell you that you have to call me Master King, ultimate cool guy, prince in the world, then you better do it, because I am an intersectionality person and I am a minority. Like, get out of my face. Like, this person really, oh my gosh. I feel like the theme of this is just going to be me being baffled that somebody really pulled out their camera, went on this whole tirade, reviewed it back, added a filter, threw on some captions, and really pressed post. When you're at a hospital, I feel like if that is one of the few places, even as a trans person, that you should really be appreciative that they are identifying you with what you actually have in your anatomy and your biology, because otherwise you're going to be getting the wrong treatment anyway. So it's like, if you're in the, I don't know what you're in the hospital for, Mr. Ma'am. No shade. But if you're in the hospital already, then it sounds like you have other problems to worry about than your pronouns. And for you to sit here and have this crash out and have the audacity to try to go and get this person fired, don't you have something better to do? Okay, this person went and got their degree, went to whatever school they had to go to get this job at the hospital, and you think that they have the time, effort, patience, or energy to sit here and acquiesce to you being this diva? And now look, I understand in a place of business and woke society, it's like you have to pick your battles, but come on. Learn to take your L and just keep it moving. Learn to take your L. If I could give a word of encouragement to the non-binary trans people of the world, learn to take your L. Okay.
because sometimes you just have to be like, you know what? It is what it is. Like the amount of times I am disrespected or people say things about me that aren't true or assume things about me that aren't true. And I have just learned I don't have time to sit here and argue with you about it. Okay, the last thing I'm about to sit here and be mad about is pronouns. Like the woke left loves to be like, oh, well, why is the right so afraid of pronouns? It's like, no, you're afraid of pronouns because if you crash out like this after leaving a hospital because somebody referred to you as your biological sex, you should have been in a mental clinic. And that's all I have to say about that.
Ready for the next one?
Let's just keep them rolling. Keep them rolling.
What is a woman?
Thank God for Blur. Who is this
Can you tell
diva?
me what a woman is? Because clearly you're really confused, and that's okay. It's okay to be confused.
Well, I'm confused. That's why I'm
Oh,
asking.
is this Bo Diddle?
Okay.
So if you were to define it, what would it?
Shout out to Bo Diddle.
I'm really sorry for the loss of your brain cells.
You can't even define what a woman is, and you're saying I've lost brain cells?
You're the
Clock
one
it
who's
down.
asking, idiot. All right.
First of all, pause real quick. Okay, that's the end of the video anyway. Bo Diddle's one of those people. I'm really impressed by his patience at all times because I know him personally. I've seen quite a few of his videos. His patience couldn't be me. I am a crash out. Okay, the disrespect that some of these crazy people have at these events, like I would literally be throwing hands at the speed of light. And I'm pretty sure he has a boxing background too. Don't let me learn a martial art because everybody's getting put in an arm bar. I'm choosing violence. Me, Xaviaer DuRousseau, me, myself, I choose violence. So don't try it. I wouldn't have nothing crazy there, not enough to choose violence. I'm just saying in general. But that person talking about, oh, you must have lost brain cells. Whatever she is, she has lost brain cells for that haircut alone. How are you going to have a skin fade with your ears sticking out like that? And I'm not attacking her about her looks. Don't get me wrong. Actually, yes, I am. I am attacking her. Because come on, you have to know what looks good on you and what doesn't. Okay, and before y'all even try to be like, well, says you with your blonde hair, because I know y'all cook me too. It's a safe space to roast me, cousins. But that being said, if you have ears that are out like this, why would you get a skin fade? That just doesn't even make sense. That pissed me off more than anything. And as someone with a PhD in gaslighting, that was such a weak attempt of gaslighting for you to be like, you're asking me what a woman is? You must not have brain cells. It's like, meanwhile, you are sitting here crashing out over basic anatomy, something that people knew when they were cavemen. If a caveman can answer a question that you can't, then I don't believe in evolution, because if that's the case, we're going backwards. Moving along.
Instead of saying he is a transgender,
I would say he is transgender.
instead of saying he transgendered last year,
I would say
Transgender.
he transitioned last year.
instead
Okay,
of
that's
saying
grammar.
he changed genders,
He transitioned or he affirmed his gender.
instead of saying he was born a girl,
I would say he was assigned female at birth.
and you were assigned male at birth and you identify as,
Male,
and I was assigned male at birth and I identify as,
non-binary.
instead of saying before he became a boy,
I would say before he transitioned.
instead of saying when he was a
It
girl,
I would
continues.
say when he presented as a woman.
instead of saying being trans means you're gay,
I would say gender identity and sexual orientation are not the same.
also,
Mind your
What?
own business.
What? Instead of saying supportive, I'm going to say delusional. Instead of saying an idiot, I'm going to say actually that's true. Instead of saying mentally ill, I'm going to say put them in an insane asylum. Okay, bring back the insane asylums. First of all, is this not child abuse? Because why are you indoctrinating your child with all of this? And then not only to indoctrinate, but then to go as far as being like, you need to be this pretentious little twerp and correct people when they say that you are a transgender. No, you are transgender. Like, come on. Like, this person already, if you are going to have a child, And you're going to make your child this woke. And then you're going to have your child transition. Now you're adding on to that struggle by having them be a pretentious little bastard who is going around correcting people about minor things like that. You're asking for your child to get beat up. You're asking for your child to be bullied. You are setting your child up for failure. And I'm not kidding. Because I would like to think I'm a relatively decently nice person, usually. And I've always been the same way as I am now, just not woke anymore. But when I was a kid, I definitely would not have let this kid sit with me. Because if you are going to come over here and I'm already trying my hardest to accept the fact that you're delusional about your own self-identity, I'm already pushing myself to be accepting of that. Now you want to sit here and correct my language about your delusion so that I can make you more comfortable in your fabricated reality. Oh, you're getting bullied. You're getting bullied. Yeah. I would not have let you be on the kickball team. I would have been mean. And I'm not saying that kids should bully. I'm just saying kids do bully. And if you are going to set your kid up for this many levels of failure, you have to pick a struggle. Because first of all, not trying to be mean because it is a kid, but the kid needs to lose weight. The kid's already a little wide. And then on top of that, transgender. And then on top of that, going to be a pretentious person like this that is correcting all your language and thinking that they're holier and smarter than thou. Little boy, pick a struggle. Or girl, I don't know what you are. I don't know what you want to be. I don't know what you aspire to be. But your father, this isn't even on the child. This is on the father. A grown man sitting here indoctrinating that child with all this. Somebody needs to check that. Somebody needs to check that father's hard drive.
My mama heart is so full today. And I have you guys to thank for that. Because the kids started school. And they came home so happy. So happy. Like, more than I could have ever asked for. My youngest, who is our non-binary child, mentioned that a lot of the teachers have, like, safe space stickers on their classroom doors. Our oldest, who is our transgender child, we had to go and sit with the guidance counselor because they're in 11th grade, and we had to make sure that everything would align for graduation requirements. So at that time we mentioned, the preferred name being Lilac.
What was the story even for?
It was no problem. It was done like that. And we told her, we're having it legally changed. And she's like, great, bring that paperwork. That helps when it comes to applying for colleges. But other than that, no big deal. What pronouns do you want to use? We didn't even have to bring it up. It's great. And this is upstate.
This is why we're abolishing the Department of Education. Give it up for abolishing the Department of Education, you guys. Woo!
Bruh.
Is that all she had to say?
That's all she had to say.
That was the story?
That was it.
You're that happy? That was it? Like, that was what you thought the internet needed to know? Is that your child was reassured by the guidance counselor that they're going to pretend to be delusional with you? And again, I have tried to become more patient and understanding with certain things. I do believe that gender dysphoria is a real medical situation. And I have stated my stance before where I feel like if we are going to compromise, this isn't what I support, but this is what I feel like is a logical compromise for America, is that because transgenderism isn't going anywhere, not as long as the devil is walking this earth, or at least his presence is here, I should say. When it comes to transgenderism, my thought process is there should be, first of all, none of the conversation should be happening before the age of 18, at least 17. And then there should be a multi-year window where you are seeing a medical professional, as in like a psychologist, but not a woke, or a psychiatrist, whichever one. I don't know the difference between the two. You should be seeing either a psychologist on a regular basis to confirm that you actually have gender dysphoria, that you're not going through a phase, or that you're not just someone who's trying to fit in, or trying to feel like you're special. And then after that, I could understand there being some steps to do what you need to do, or if you feel you need to do when it comes to your procedures and mutilating your body and all of that. So then once you finish mutilating your body, then you could apply to switch bathrooms or switch whatever. Once you've chopped everything and nothing works anymore, no shade. Do I support that? In theory, no. But what I'm saying is, and I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, is that is what I think is the most logical compromise. But what the left wants, so what the right wants, a lot of the right, not the whole right, but a lot of the conservatives want, just cut it all the way down, shut it all the way down. This is nowhere near society, which to that I say, it's tea. That was so stupid. I thought I ate that too, but it was so stupid. But the left is wanting to, again, mutilate children, make everything a safe space for children, make everything about making these children feel like they are correct while literally lying to these children. And that is why this is so divisive and why this issue is so problematic and always in our face. And seeing this mom sit here and smiling from ear to ear like, I'm so happy there was no problem in having a guidance counselor lie to my child about who they actually are and what their genitalia is. It's like, it's getting weird. It's getting weird. It's been weird. And I don't know who her target audience was for that video, but I'm sorry that y'all had to even see that, because that woman just wasted my time. We can move along.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a high school math teacher, and I have a pride flag in my classroom. My job is to teach students math, but it's significantly more than just that. Some of the students that I teach might not have liked their previous math teachers, might not know how to learn math, may have never even passed a math class before. So much of my job is building an atmosphere and a persona that the students feel comfortable learning from me. Because with everyone, especially high school students, learning is scary. Failure is tough, and failure is required to learn. I'm asking my students to be vulnerable with their failures. And in order for them to be vulnerable,
I'm sorry,
they
but
have to
pause real quick. See, that's already, you shouldn't be a teacher. Your job as a teacher is not for your kids to fail and get back up. Your job as a teacher is to teach. Okay, she, it, they, whatever that is, whatever that means. You're acting like this is a business principle we're talking about. Yeah, in business, sometimes you fail, or sometimes in life you fail and you have to, dust yourself off, get up and learn a lesson. But what do you mean as a math teacher you're supposed to fail and like keep going? No, students are not supposed to be failing general education. What are you talking about? And what the hell are those bangs? Oh, okay. What else does this person have to say?
feel safe. The pride flag is one of the many ways that I show my kids, regardless of who they are, that you are safe in my class. That no matter who you are, who you love, where you come from, you're welcome here. So yeah, I think that makes sense.
No, the hell it doesn't. And the way that you're supposed to be making your cents and your little coins is by teaching math. I don't know why these teachers think that they're supposed to be a therapist, a sex coach, a life coach, all these different things to kids. Your job is to teach math. Not saying that, obviously obviously students and teachers, they have a good relationship. There are teachers that to this day I stay in touch with because we had a bond, but that bond never went to an inappropriate level. And it's so wild to think about, like, the thought of, even like, why are teachers talking about sexuality with these kids? Even talking about dating. I remember I had a teacher in 3rd grade who was getting married, and I remember even just the way she would talk about that, like how excited she was. She was so, or it wasn't 3rd grade. It was some teacher I had that was getting married when I was a young kid. And I remember she was so adamant about, like, okay, you can ask questions because, marriage is a beautiful thing, but don't do too much about my personal life because she's not going to do too much about yours. That was the way I remember teachers being. So it's like, it's not even just an LGBT thing. It's just in a general sense, a teacher's personal business should only be in the, like, in the classroom discussion so much. What do you mean you're talking about pride when it's math class? This is why kids can't do math. This is why so many kids aren't passing the readiness scores for college. And Lord help the literature teachers, because so many kids are illiterate these days. Majority of literally well over the majority of young Black students can't pass the literacy exam. That is very, very concerning, where these kids cannot read. These kids are graduating high school sounding like Cardi B. I can only imagine what Cardi B is like doing math. Probably had a teacher like this. Oh, this is so blackpilling. Let's keep it going.
Trust Black women, they lead the way. Trust Black women, they lead the way. White women.
What in the slavery rituals?
Trust Black women, they lead the way. Oh, we're mad as hell. Oh, can't you tell? Oh, we're mad as hell. Can't you tell? We dissent, you fascists. Oh, we're mad as hell. Can't you tell?
You can't hit a single note. Where was the key? Oh my. Honestly, like, are they trying to summon Harriet Tubman to come back? I bet Harriet Tubman would have hit them with a bus driver uppercut. Because what was that? Trust Black women. Trust Black women. We're mad. We're mad. We can tell you're mad. You're mad in the head. You have mad cow disease. What is going on? Oh my goodness. And the thing is Black women are so like grossed out and find this so corny. Any Black woman that is supporting them doing this, they're doing that to gas them up for entertainment, because this is so corny. Trust Black women. Like, what the hell? What the helly? What the heliante? What the helly Cyrus? What the hell, Raya Carey? Trust Black women. We'll trust that Black women would never appreciate this. Black people aren't asking for this. Black people just want to be left alone. Can we have our business to ourselves sometime? It's always these affluent white female liberals, awfuls, as Tim Pool calls them, that put themselves into Black folk business and is out here singing Negro spirituals, talking about this way, wait, how does this sound? This train don't take your money, this train. This train don't take your money, this train. This train don't take your money, pay your way with milk and honey. This train don't take your money, this train. That's what they're giving. Negro spirituals. This is what they would sing to take the slaves home. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do here. Well, if I were a slave and I heard these women singing, I would probably run back to the plantation, personally, and ask to be indoors as a house Negro, where they play actual music on the radio. Moving along.
They ruined my life! I've been a condominium! White privilege! Snowflake! You white privilege mother! Get away. You don't get away. Go to you white racist! I work for every god thing I have! You never work for a god thing, you dumb. You dumb, blonde, big body.
Why don't you throw it down?
Are you gonna assault me? Are you gonna assault me? I dare to you. You.
Oh, why are you so angry, sweetheart? Am I tripping? Because you know I don't have my eyes on. Isn't she white too? Isn't she white too? Was she white, Mr. Rodriguez?
I'm analyzing, because that's what I originally thought, but upon further analysis, it might be different.
Regardless, that is a person who's mentally ill. If you're going around screaming about white privilege, again, if white privilege was real and racism was real, they would have had you locked up. Honestly, I think we need to open up the psych wards and mass incarceration again because that is crazy. That is actually crazy. Like, I don't understand what could possibly make you that mad at white folk that you're going around in a restaurant tirading like this. These people are so insane. Like, if AI is using these crash outs for data, then AI is probably going to turn autistic. Like, this is very much giving mental illness, and I'm scared. I'm very scared that these people are just walking around in the same streets, roaming society alongside us, because that is mental illness personified. And that is a level of anger. It's like, just go to the gym, dude. Like, chick, don't want to misgender.
It's hard to tell what she is too. Honestly, she looks mixed, probably.
She looks mixed with mental illness, and that's all I need to know about her. It's getting weird. It's getting weird. These people are crazy.
If you are not black, if your skin is not brown, if you are not melanated, then you do not have the right to come under my videos talking back to my people. Your opinions are not wanted, nor are they relevant. So why do you feel like you need to come and keep saying something to my people? You need to ask me my permission before you speak or comment on my videos. You come under my video and say, Lord, may I please have your permission to say something. Then you wait for me to give you my permission before you start tapping, moving your little pasty fingers around on my page. You people have been talking way too much for way too long, and your time is officially up. It is Black Power.
Ciao. Anyway, so I'm kind of scared to talk about her because I feel like she'll pop up in my mirror behind me if I speak too boldly about her. And because, first of all, anybody who is talking to you like this, they're crazy. They're crazy. And I already have a lot of ops out here, and I'm afraid to say too much about her because she would come for me. And I feel like if I close my eyes for too long, I'm going to like see her face ingrained behind my eyelids. Like, I'm terrified. And you know, I can't stand more often than not when people hit you with the if roles were reversed. But I do have to hit you with that on this because imagine a white person getting on camera and being like, if you are black, you are not allowed to be in my comment section. You must ask permission to talk about white people. Imagine what that would look like. That would look like an Emily Saves America video. Shout out to Emily. Oh my goodness, the black power of it all. Okay, is this a safe space? Not to sound racist, but I just feel like on behalf of the black community, we really can't start telling white people what they can and can't do and start making all these rules for white people being like, you're not allowed to say this. You're not allowed to ask me this. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to go to this place. Black people, black supremacists continuously make all these rules for white people. When it's like, black people, before you can do that, we got to stop committing a disproportionate amount of crime. How are black people out here making rules and regulations for other people when we are the ones in jail all the time? Oh, is that racist? We're the ones committing disproportionately murder, theft, all sorts of ignorant crimes. And we want to put extra rules on white people? Black people need to start dotting I's and crossing T's first. If we're going to be honest. It's just weird. It's like, I can't stand the racial tribalism of it all, but it's like, black people, we have to get ourselves together first. We need to make sure that our kids are learning how to read before we can tell someone to follow the rules. How can we tell other people to follow the rules if our sons and daughters can't even read? If there's a sign with the rules on it, our kids can't even read it. And I'm not being racist. You can look up the stats. Stats aren't racist. Facts are not racist. Reality is that black people need to get ourselves together before we start going to telling the white folk what to do. Respectfully. But I'm not going to say too much about that lady because I'm scared of her. Let's move along.
Hey, to all of the people who are against Karmelo Anthony, me as a black man in America, white people, I'm telling you and I'm telling you now, you ever even think to approach me, bully me, harass me, think you're gonna be with your twin brother or twin whatever, and do anything to me, I too will poke you as well. Straight to the heart. And that's on self-defense. This is not the Jim Crow era. This ain't 400 years ago. This ain't 1619. This ain't back in them days. Y'all don't want to end up like Austin. Leave black people alone. Y'all didn't play fair for 400 years. We ain't playing fair with y'all either.
Who is y'all? Who is y'all in this context? Like, why are you acting like white people are 400 years old to be responsible for the things that their ancestors did? It's like, for all you know, sir, you could be part white too. You could have some white DNA in you. That's crazy. That's just low down and disgusting, because to sit here and talk about pokey, like making it seem funny that this 17-year-old kid just got stabbed in the heart, like that is really just disgusting. And I hate to say it, but black people are never beating the violent allegations. We are never beating the violent crime allegations. When you were sitting here bragging about the fact that you would gladly stab a white person if they said something to you, it's like we're also not beating the over emotional allegations, because why are you so mad? Okay, learn how to fist fight. I'm sorry, like I'm at the point, for so many years I've said never choose violence, and like, you know, more often than not that's the case, but I'm at the point now where I'm about to start telling people choose hand-to-hand violence. Learn how to fight. I'm sorry. Because if you're automatically talking about you're going to take a knife and start stabbing people, it's like, I feel like it builds character, especially as a man. I feel like as a man, you don't fully become a man until you've been punched in the face at least once. I feel like every male I know, when I've asked them this, because it's a random conversation that I've heard many times that my friend used to have with people, and I realized it made sense. You always remember the first time you got punched, like legitimately punched in the face. And it's kind of like a wake-up call and a life lesson that you never really forget, or you never really forget. So it's like, I just feel like, what happened to culture where people could just handle things with either words or fist? You have to go and get a knife. I mean, at least it's not a gun. Actually, that is such a terrible standard to even have. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I have almost given up hope that my community is going to stop choosing violence. So it's like, if you're going to choose violence, at least don't make it a deadly weapon, because why throw your life and somebody else's life away? Is nothing sacred anymore? Are people just not afraid to die anymore? Or to spend the rest of their life in prison, which in my opinion is worse than death? It's scary. That's a really, really troubled individual. Really troubled. And it's like, why are you so angry? He was well-spoken, had good hair, good skin. You can go find a significant other, whatever you're into. You could go get a good job based on the way you sound. You have all the tools. That young man had all the tools to go live a beautiful life and to be a happy person who enjoys life. But instead, I guarantee they're broke, ghetto, and miserable because they're too busy hyperfixating on how much they hate white people, so much so that they are unwilling to get past their hatred and just live their life. Being black in America is a very easy life these days. As he acknowledged, saying, we're not in Jim Crow anymore. We're not in Jim Crow South. We're not in slavery anymore. Correct. So why do you have the mindset of someone who is struggling to have civil rights? You have all your God-given rights. It's getting weird. Black people, it's time to heal. It's really time to heal. Yeah. It's time to heal. Go ahead and get that therapist on the line. I'm tired of black people acting like they're too good for therapy, or like therapy is a scam. No, therapy was one of the best investments I ever got. And I started going to therapy right after I was done being a liberal, and it helped me unpack a lot. And maybe you should too. Maybe you should. Immediately, before you end up in a straitjacket or a prison cell. Next.
I'd like to address yet another stupid Republican talking point that is destroying our world about climate change.
Gavin Newsom, calm down.
My own caustic attitude and tone. I don't like it. I don't like talking like this. I don't like being like this.
I don't like it either.
In person, I prefer to see the best in people and relate to people through common humanity, even when we disagree. But these devices and these platforms are being used by radical Republicans to destroy and undermine our democracy and environment. So I am going to spit truth right back at them. In this case, yes, it is true that the climate does naturally change. 12,000 years ago, the end of the last ice age allowed humans to proliferate through the world. But it's also true that humans affect climate, you morons. It is possible to have a morning and an afternoon. Yes, nature causes wildfires, and it's also true that if you pour gasoline on fires, you make it worse. In the case of the climate, we have 8 billion people on the planet. We have never seen anything like this in the history of humanity.
Imagine crashing out like that because it's foggy outside. Like, I'm confused what he's mad about. Which element? What? Is he mad about the fires that were started by people largely arson? Is he mad that the weather? And that's the thing too, is a lot of people are, to this day, I'm confused how people don't understand the reason why fires seem more destructive now is because the world has more money now, meaning we have more skyscrapers, we have more lucrative buildings. Like these natural disasters are getting more expensive. And I think that people are equating loss of buildings and luxury with the fires are getting crazier. It's not, I don't think there's anything that's necessarily, other than like the fact that they're man-made, I don't think that there's necessarily that much that's abnormal about these fires or these hurricanes. There's just more in the way. So like a hurricane that happened 100, 200 years ago isn't going to be nearly as catastrophic from a human perspective as one today, because there are buildings and banks and jewelry stores and you name it that is in the line of fire, literally, or in the line of a hurricane. So people acting like it's abnormal that these natural disasters are happening, it's like you're kind of just not using your brain, or you're using your brain's entirety to yell and be angry at TikTok. And you know what? One thing I promised myself when I started becoming a content creator is that I will always be self-aware of how weird it is to be a creator. Walk with me here, not to be corny, but walk with me as I explain this. As I take my phone and I am holding my phone and I'm going on rants, I'm very conscious of the fact, like, yes, it ends up reaching millions of people over time. But as I'm sitting here yelling at my screen, I remember sometimes, like, I take a step back, even as I'm sitting here talking to this camera right now, I take a step back and remember, like, this is a camera. And yes, wait, my background is crazy. He's just like me for real, always sipping on something. I wonder if Trump would like Air One. Whole tangent. But I'm always very conscious of the fact that I am talking to a screen. So for this grown man, Gavin Newsom's Sheen brother, Sheen Gavin Newsom, to prop up his phone when he should be paying bills and to continuously scream about the weather and then to watch that back, add the Oslo filter, or is that what it's called? Or Paris, whatever filter, to do all that and then to hit send. Sir, you're 45. And even if you were 25, this is weird. And I crash out for a living. But I would never, I don't know. If you ever see me making a video this manic about something as simple as the weather, please tell me to take a break. Ms. Rodriguez, can you promise me that?
Absolutely.
If you see me crashing out over the weather like this, just, it's one of those moments of, I'm going to hold your hand when I tell you this. You need to put your phone away. You need to go on airplane mode for a long time and delete your TikTok. That was weird because I walked away from that just feeling uncomfortable and like he spat all over my face more than anything.
Yeah, he was I think just angry at the point of saying, oh, there's so many people, like claiming that there's an overpopulation problem, probably, and saying because of the amount of people we have, we're creating a unique situation that's everything that we're doing with this huge population. You know, majority of the people and corporations are contributing to worsening that climate. And he's alluding to that when we know that the overpopulation stuff, that's a myth.
Are we literally in a population collapse? Like we're not having enough babies? At
That's
least a lot of
100%.
nations are.
That's right.
Especially in Asia.
Yeah.
Ugh. We need more of my Asian brothers and sisters out there because I'm 2% Chinese, by the way. That was a crazy way to communicate, but hey, it got us talking, so maybe he's on to something. But ultimately, he needs some tea. He needs some stress relief tea like I have here. That low-key I think I'm allergic to because my tongue has been feeling weird ever since I started drinking this. Will, did you put something in my tea?
He said
Mr.
no.
Rodriguez, can you ask Will if he put something in my tea?
Let me ask him. Yeah. Will, let us know. Come on.
No, just, your favorite honey lavender.
He said honey lavender. Maybe he's an op.
That's how I know he lying because it's actually blueberry.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that magic Prager sauce in there.
Prager sauce. Chow. Anyway, so let's move along.
You know what? Elon Musk should be president in 2028. What do you think about that?
I think that Elon Musk has no skills and no ability.
Well, he's the richest man in the world, so he's got some skills, right?
He cheats, he lies, he steals, and he bought a
And so
presidency.
does your husband.
He has done nothing original other than to create things off of other people's ideas.
You think that Elon Musk is
Honey,
Tesla and
you are
SpaceX?
clear
Hold on, we
as
don't
mud.
we don't
Oh,
we don't have to.
oh,
Hey,
oh, break my heart.
Why
break my
do you
heart.
get so emotional though? Stop.
You
Like, let's
think-
just have a
hold on,
conversation.
just-
I want to hear what
just-
you think, man.
Hold on, I have a.
Hey,
Is that simple?
ma'am,
Oh, your mama died last year.
ma'am,
Sorry.
ma'am, it's okay.
Have a good day.
Listen, ma'am, if you're that upset
Don't
though,
call me ma'am.
okay,
Don't call me ma'am.
Sir?
Call me sweetheart.
sweetheart. Okay, whatever you want to be called.
Sweetheart.
Whatever you want to be called. Why are you so upset? Why are you letting politics get you so
Why
upset?
are
Like,
you
don't
so
you see that we're just
angry,
human beings?
sweetheart?
Seriously. You think completely different
Have you
from me.
looked-
I don't think
have
ill
you
of you.
looked at
You've treated
Doges?
me so
Have you-
disrespectfully right
have
here, and
you-
I still don't think
have
less of you.
Don't point your finger
I'm
in
sorry,
my
I
face.
didn't mean to. I
You
didn't mean
did
that.
certainly mean that. Because
No, I didn't
you
mean that in a
want
disrespectful way.
Trump. You want Elon
Oh, she's
Musk
insufferable.
Trump to
So
be
just
the
because I
president.
have certain political beliefs, you think you're going to treat me like that? Is what you're
Yes,
saying? Okay,
yes.
that's insane.
This is like the final boss Karen. And again, this is another one of those examples of, I don't know who that guy was doing the interviews, but he was so nice and so patient. Couldn't be me. Catch an attitude with me like that, it's going to get uglier than Ken Barbie. Oh. That was insane. Like, that woman, she's definitely going through something. Like, I know she's far beyond menopause. No shade, respectfully. So it's like, that's just weird. At your big age, at your astronomically huge age that woman was at, no shade, being a woman of a particular age, you should know better than to just freak out like this because someone asked you a simple question. And the question wasn't even that polarizing. It was just about Elon Musk. I understand, because like I have my long list of criticisms of Elon Musk and of many people, but Elon, as much as as critical as I am of Elon Musk, I don't think there's anything that I can understand why people are this angry at him for. Like, he makes spaceships. Moving along.
I'm just gonna straight up say that I hate you
Shout
all.
out to the military.
These are murderers, thieves. You all want to make everybody think that you guys are trying to save people, but I know what you're doing out there. White devils. I hope you enjoy hell.
What?
He called them white devils. And lastly, he said, I hope you enjoy hell.
You would literally be living in hell if it wasn't for the military. Like, that's the one thing that I will never understand, especially about like progressives. If you are progressive and you hate the military, then you are just an idiot. Because if you think that America falling and not having a military would be better for you, then you have no understanding of how society works. Because if America falls and Western society falls and we end up like these haram nations, no shade to the haram nations, but they're not going to put up with anything that you're doing, especially progressive women. So you can hate on the military all you want, but when we end up with a military like Hamas, and we're all mussy terrorist militants and women are having to cover from head to toe, then we will see how much you miss the United States of America. That is one thing I will never tolerate, is people who constantly hate on the military. Yeah, America is not perfect. America has done low down dirty things. That's what happens when you have power. There's not a nation you will find that is completely, wholeheartedly unproblematic. You have nations where they literally eat each other. You have nations where women aren't allowed to show their ankles because the men in that society don't have enough self-control. Oh yeah, clock it. We are in America where we are free. We have rights. We can start businesses. We can argue. We can have discourse. You can disagree with everything I'm saying, but the fact that you're allowed to disagree is because we're in America, because of our military. So shout out to our military. I think May is Military Appreciation Month, right? If it's not, it should be. You know, progressives, all these people, y'all just killed my brain cells. Honestly.
Yep, it is in May.
It is in May. Shout out to the military. Shout out to the armed forces. Respect to the armed forces. Respect the law. And that's all for today's show. I hope you enjoyed this hot mess of me reacting to woke content. If you guys have more videos you want me to react to, just let me know. Send a link. You can send it over. Mr. Rodriguez is checking everything. He is always putting in work. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends about Respectfully, because there is always room for more cousins here at the table. And thank you guys again for 100,000 cousins here at the table. I will see you soon.